that's my people. Okay. We're sold out, guys. Oh my God, I can't believe we sold out.
Yeah, they were all like depressed and sad. It's like, it's Saturday, you're SacAnime, come on.
It's Saturday, SAD. So.
I'm stealing that for the future.
I don't know if we're gonna go straight to questions yet. I think we're gonna do like a little talking first.
Yeah.
But I'll save your place if you want to come be first in line now when questions start. I'll remember. Guy in the Captain America shirt, guy in the bear hat.
There you go.
But I think we're gonna talk for a little while, so I don't want you to get tired. Okay.
She's so sweet. So welcome to the show.
Thank you, I'm happy to be here. I love Sacramento. I know people like make fun. I saw Lady Bird, but I was like, I love Sacramento. My very first husband, I've had a lot of husbands.
We won't talk about that.
The first one lived here, and we used to go to Old Town Sac, and it was fun. He was very sweet. And I still love his parents. They still live up here. I still talk to his mom.
Nice.
I keep the moms. I get rid of the guys. I'm getting a divorce, and I met my husband on Twitter, and now I'm giving him back to Twitter.
I'm sure
but I'm keeping his mom.
Twitter's happy to have him back.
Yes.
So what you been up to?
Marrying people.
Marrying people? Stealing husbands?
Divorcing people.
Okay.
Oh, all kinds of new things. Unikitty, are you guys watching Unikitty? It's so cute. You guys should watch it, it's really funny. I wouldn't say that about, there's shows that I do that I'm like, don't watch it, it's not that good. I will do anything that pays scale plus 10%, so I do everything. Yeah, some people are picky, they're like, oh, I don't want to do that show, it wasn't good. And I'm like, did it pay money? Because I'll do that show.
Yeah, money is good. I like money. We should hang out.
Oh, I have 3 children in private school, so I need money.
So I need money.
But yeah, no, things are good. We're still doing Scooby Doo. We're still doing Fairly Odd Parents every now and again. Vicky's not in every episode.
Whatever, bunch of twerps. How dare they make an episode without Vicky?
And yeah, I mean, I'm doing a bunch of new shows, but like, well, oh God. Like, I don't know if I can talk about some of them. Some of them had online petitions that, like, that people really, really wanted the show to come back, and it didn't bring it back, but I can't talk about what that is yet. So, yeah. I'm doing lots of new shows, but I can't think of what they are.
There's nothing I can talk about, but there's a lot of it.
I know. Nickelodeon, is Pinky Malinky airing yet? I don't know. Pinky Malinky, Nickelodeon, and...
One more time on that name?
Pinky Malinky, it's about a little sausage. It's like a hot dog that goes to school. He's really cute.
Wow.
And I play like 9 characters.
And people say cartoons in the 80s were weird.
I know. I'm doing J.G. Quintel's new show. I don't think that's airing yet. It's the guy who did a regular show. He has a new show. And that. Yeah, anyway. Oh, do you guys, is Mighty Magiswords airing yet?
Mighty Magiswords is out there.
Well, I'm Amber on that. She sounds a lot like Azula. She's a little nicer, and she has a little bit of more of a lilt, and her voice goes way up here. Not down here, where she burns your city to the ground.
Not the movie, though.
So, well... Yeah, oh God, I know. Oh my God. I saw that funny trailer. I hadn't seen that trailer, like bad movie trailers or true movie trailers or something like
Honest
that.
Trailers.
Honest trailers.
Do you know
Oh my
John,
God.
do you know John Bailey?
No.
Oh, I know.
Oh wait, John Bailey, that's the guy?
That's the movie. That's Honest Trailers, John Bailey.
Oh my God, he's my Facebook friend. We talk all the time. I had
John's
no
awesome.
idea.
Yeah.
I knew he was verified, and I was like, I don't work with him very often. I don't know, like, what he...
I was super stoked to see him on a Regal Cinemas. I was at the movie theater. He did the ad for Regal in the beginning of the theater. He's standing behind a podium and he's using his movie voice and he's talking. And they dropped the sign in front of his face for Regal while he's still talking.
Oh my God.
I was like, I know that guy.
Yeah, well, I love him. I talk to him all the time, and yeah.
Great guy.
I got the voice in a really cool Disney attraction, like a ride that's like a major ride, and I can't talk about that either. But I'm dying to.
I did this, can't talk about that. I did this, can't talk about that.
So, but I played Maz Kanata in the new Battlefront game, which I just found out. I mean, I've been playing Maz from Star Wars for a while, but I didn't know that I was in that new Battlefront game until my son begged for the game, and then he was like, "Oh my God, Mom, you're on this!" So that was kind of fun.
I like Lupita Nyong'o.
Oh, she talks like this, Maz Kanata. Oh, no, she's running the bar.
Nice.
Luke Skywalker. No, but she's always like, Han Solo, what you doing, Han Solo? Huh?
Say where's my Wookiee?
Where's my Wookiee? I should watch that a few times to get it right. I don't know. So I was just going to talk about how I got started, unless okay.
Yeah.
Well, I always wanted to
do. They're with
yes,
you.
the two people. I always wanted to be a stand-up comic, and I did it for just like a minute and a half, and then got directly into voiceovers because my jokes were not very good, and my impressions were pretty good. And this lady was like, "Hey, you should do voiceovers while you're working on your jokes, because your jokes are not good." So I was like, "Oh yeah, great. Where do you sign up for that? I'll just go do that." And I didn't realize how hard it was to get into, but once I got into it, it was awesome. And then I never went back to stand-up comedy until like recently, like 6 months ago. I was like, I'm gonna take a stand-up comedy class because I really want to do that. Honestly, I want to get parts on major television shows, and now when I'm working with people, I'm like, how do I know that guy? I've never met that guy. And they're like, oh, he's a stand-up. And I'm like, oh, everybody's a stand-up now. And I was like, I need to get a job. I need to get famous doing stand-up comedy so that I can get in the back door and get bigger parts on my cartoons. Because they're all going to stand-up comics now. Even people like in major movies, like cartoon movies, they're giving them to stand-up comics. So I'm just gonna have to sneak in there. So I started doing that again. It's been fun. I won a few comedy contests. They weren't that hard to win because I brought a bunch of people and they voted for me.
I patted the box.
But then my very first part that I got was Reptar on Rugrats. Yeah, and
All you 90s kids.
he never spoke except for this one episode where they went into like some kind of dream sequence or something, and he spoke. So, and I had a car accident on my way to the job, and I was so excited about the job, and it was so hard to get a voiceover job that I didn't care. I just left my car and I like put my thumb out, and somebody pulled over, and I was like, I gotta get to Klasky Shupo on Island. Can you please take me? And they're like, what about your car? And I was like, we'll just deal with that later. I gotta get to this job. So I was a little bit late to the job, and I've been late to every job ever since then. I'm usually like a solid 10 minutes late. Then I went back and dealt with my car. But I got to be Reptar, and then I got to meet Timmy and Todd McNulty on that show, and with Tara Strong. That was the first time I met her. And now she's Unikitty and I'm Puppycorn. We worked together forever, like Fosters and Powerpuff Girls. I've done some of the new Powerpuff Girls, even though I know some people are not happy about the new Powerpuff Girls. But
It's not the same
as long as they kept me around, I don't care about anybody else. It just kind of snowballed from there, and I ended up getting Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends, and Vicky was one of the first things I ever got. I was like 26, and I'm 44 now, so. Thank you, God bless you. Thank you, Dad, I appreciate that. I guess I don't have a ton of things to talk about. I took over the role of Daphne Blake for Mary Kay Bergman, who was my teacher when she passed away, and she was such a wonderful, talented, amazing person. And I still talk to her almost a few times a week. I still, in my mind, when I'm going up for an audition, that big Disney thing that I just got, I was at Character Voices, which is like a separate building, and it's got like a little lobby and everything. And you can only get in there if you're doing like a Disney. I'll wait.
We'll wait.
We're happy with our Verizon service, we're fine. But anyway, I was talking to her in the lobby going like, what would you do? What would, help me with this? And she helps me all the time. I know I sound crazy when I say that, but I feel like she's with me all the time. So, yeah.
Right on.
Questions? Now, should we do questions then?
So if you guys want to ask questions,
So
we have the
first-
microphone up here. You can go ahead and line up on a microphone. We'll take the questions one at a
Captain
time.
America's second.
Good questions, nothing weird or silly.
Hi.
Hi.
I don't know if you recognize me. I made you the Gotham City Sirens art online.
Oh,
and
my
the
goodness.
cat lady one online with her.
Oh, yeah. You know what? There's like bright lights in my face, so you're just right now like a shadow. So hi there. Good to see you.
Hi. I love your singing and your acting.
Oh, thank you.
I got to join you as Red Hot Riding Hood.
The what?
Red Hot Riding Hood from Tom and Jerry.
Oh, yes, yes. That was so fun. Yeah.
And, I liked your Catwoman voice and Wonder Woman and so many voices. And
Oh,
Azula,
thank you. Oh,
the
yes,
mother
right.
of the daughters of Aku and Josephine Clench.
Yes, Josephine Clench. I forgot about that. Oh yeah, Samurai Jack. We did a new Samurai Jack, and that was so fun.
Samurai Jack.
Man,
I enjoyed it.
I brought picture. I'm signing right after this, even though I'm not on the schedule. I'm just signing for people who came to my panel, so they can just get great Griffin over with in one fell swoop. Get on to the next people. Get on to the lower valleys. But I have the first Samurai Jack things that I printed. I haven't printed very many.
So, if you had a musical, how would you make it?
If I had a musical, oh my gosh. Well, I would think I would do something kind of 1940. I love like 1930s, 40s kind of things. I like that kind of. Did anybody watch the Griffin Adventures? Well, let me know.
Yes.
The Evil Concarney. Remember Evil Concarney?
Yes.
Yeah.
Major
Well, I played
Dr.
Major Dr. Ghastly, and Major Dr. Ghastly kind of had that kind of thing like that. So I love old movies, and so yeah, I thought, I want to do sort of like a noir thing. So it would be sort of like a film noir musical with some Appalachian folk music in it.
She's like the Madame Rouge of that show because of based on the Brotherhood of Evil from Teen Titans and Doom Patrol.
Yes. Yeah, I've been making these YouTube videos singing because I used to be a singer and I put out a bunch of records and then now I don't have time to tour or anything. So my son has a YouTube channel. So he's like, Mom, you should have a YouTube channel. And he gets on me about it. He's like, have you put content out today? And I'm like, no, I put content out like once every 3 months or something. I was like, oh man, I would unsubscribe from you so fast. You need to put things. He lost his mind when Corey Kenshin took a vacation or something. I don't know if anybody knows who that is, but it's a YouTuber. And my son was really mad when the guy left and didn't do videos for a while. I was like, the guy's got a life, leave him alone. So.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, Gray.
Hi.
Just want to say, just thanks for all the work you've done, just across, like, obviously all of our lives. This is actually the first kind of event I've ever gone to. I've never been to an anime convention before. It's the first one, and you're the first person from like my childhood I've got to like meet face to face and all that. So, well, I mean, I did see Charles Martinet earlier, but you're the first person I've actually talked to, so that's pretty cool. And I just wanted to ask, obviously, since you were such a big part of all of our lives growing up, like, how does that feel to you? Like, did it ever hit a point in your life where you realized that you were such a huge integral part of an entire generation of people's lives? And like, how did that feel?
Gosh, especially since you guys are like full-grown people. It's weird for somebody who's like an adult to go, you were my childhood. And I'm like, but I'm so young. What? I still feel like such a dork. I just feel like I'm 17.
We don't look a day over 34, by the way. So.
Oh my gosh. I have to say, Tara's the one who got me into doing cons because she would do them all the time, and she was like, you should come to Florida. We'll share a hotel room. You can sign pictures. And I was like, people aren't gonna. I don't think people are gonna. I mean, I don't even. Anyway, but I didn't have any pictures printed except for my headshot. And then somebody was like, did you play Azula on Avatar? And I was like, oh yeah. And they're like, oh my god. Like everybody kind of went crazy at that convention. They started bringing up all these Azula things that they bought from artists. And I was like, so it was a big character? And they were like, yes. It's like people, yeah. And so I had no idea. So it's awesome. And it's awesome to try to help other people too, because my eBay store, we give part of that to like St. Jude's. There's like a few different charities that we support. And it's just neat to, it's probably something that will make money for that charity forever. You know, people always, you know, I don't know, there are things that I did 20 years ago that people still, you know, it meant something to them, so it's amazing. And also when people tell me stories about, like, my brother died, but when he was sick, we used to watch this show and it was like, it bonded us. It's like, anyway, I'm gonna cry. But it's just so neat to think that you're a part of something that people went through and that it helped them go through it. So anyway, I don't know why I'm being such a weirdo.
No, it definitely helped a lot of us. Thank you for doing that. I just one minor follow-up, nitpicky kind of question. Since you were the mother of the daughters of Aku in the last season of Samurai Jack, I was curious. In the first episode, when all the daughters are adults by the end of the episode, is that because it grew up fast, or because that whole episode took over the place of like years?
Because it was years of training.
Okay.
Yeah,
I was just curious.
Yeah, that you have to, think about how much abuse they went through for so many years. So,
Sure.
yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah, it was funny. I was trying to do an evil voice again. He's like, no, just talk like you. I was like, be yourself, Gray. You're a horrible monster. Just be yourself.
Was it kind of upsetting to be bested by Tara Strong at the end of it all?
Was it what?
Was it upsetting to be kind of killed off by Tara Strong of all people?
Upsetting to be No, I get killed off by her every day.
Sure.
People always, oh my god, I have a funny story. I always joke with her about how, like, we're always in competition. You know, not really, you're not really in competition. We have totally different styles and everything, but she's just really well known. Like, she really knows how to do the whole, she's just good at, like, all that social media stuff. I put jokes up on Twitter, like, people want to see characters and stuff, but I just put stupid jokes up. They're like, put your, do Azula stuff or do that. And I'm like, no, I just do my costume show. And mostly right now I'm resisting 24/7. But I was like, come back to me in 3 years and my Twitter account will be funny again. Right now I'm being an activist. But Tara, it doesn't matter where we are, like I'll go to something and somebody's like really excited to meet me, but then they're like, do you know Twilight Sparkle? And I'm like, all right. And then we're doing this new, do you remember that Super Best Friends Forever, that Lauren Faust show? Does anybody remember that? Okay, well, then do you know DC Superhero Girls? Okay, so, I don't know if I'm allowed to say this, but I'm just gonna say it. Hopefully Warner Bros. Won't get mad at me. Maybe it's been announced, I don't know. But they let Lauren Faust redo DC Superhero Girls with her, like with those Super Best Friends Forever type characters on it. So I play Wonder Woman, and she's very earnest like this, and she's got a little bit of a Greek accent, and anyway, I guess it's, yeah, she wanted her Mediterranean. Anyway, but Tara plays Batgirl. But I'm the lead of the show. And it was for Christmas for the holidays, they gave us these mugs, and I got one with Batgirl on it, and I was like, oh, I think you gave me Tara's mug. And they were like, oh no, that's the only character we printed. And I'm like, I'm freaking Wonder Woman, you can't. Anyway, and then, this is a really awful story, and it's really sad, but it's kind of funny. There was a boy that was terminally ill who really wanted to meet me, and I was like nervous to meet him because he had like special equipment and everything. I was just really nervous to meet him because I thought I don't want to say the wrong thing and I want to be sensitive to him, but I need to show up for him because he really, really wants to meet me. And I felt bad for his mom. I didn't know, and I said, I don't want to cry. Don't cry, Gray. Because I was like, he doesn't want to see you cry. He wants to be made to laugh. He wants you to do the characters and make him laugh. But I get there and I'm like doing characters and everything, and then all of a sudden he goes, do you know Tara Strong? I was like, not you too! But anyway, yeah, so.
Awesome. Thank you for all that you've done, and keep up the good work.
Aw, thank you so much.
Hi.
Hi.
Well, first let me just say it is an honor to meet you for the first time ever.
Thank you.
I am, however, one of those who recommended you to come back, right? And I grew up watching a lot of the shows that you voiced in. First one I would say was Clifford.
Clifford! You want to hear a Speckle story, Clifford?
Now it sounds like she's had a few cigarettes. I don't smoke, but I was getting over a cold a couple weeks ago.
Beautiful voice, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
And yeah,
Clifford. Emily's like, I will ride you around, Clifford. I don't have a jazzy scooter. I got a big red dog now.
all right. How are your relations with other actors? What's his name? Kevin Conroy, Tara Strong, and maybe, Avatar, Dante Bosco.
Yeah.
How are your relations with or those individual recordings?
Oh, when we were recording, did we get along and everything?
Yes.
I'm still really good friends with Dante.
Oh.
He's single now too. What if Zula and that would be really weird.
Dante Basco is single now?
He's super cute too. I was at his house the other day and he was like, oh yeah, my girlfriend and I broke up, and I was like, really? Anyway, I said, let's blow the internet's mind right now.
Rufio.
He puts the O in Rufio. All right. Focus, great. I love Dante, and we had fun recording. I recorded a lot by myself when I played Azula. Like, even when I had that mental breakdown and everything, I was like all by myself in a booth, all by myself, and crying, and I've still never seen the series. Dante had, that's why I was at his house the other time, because we did that video where, I don't know if anybody saw, but he was like watching, he had never watched it either. He'd never watched the series. So, it was funny because he's like, we gotta have you come over for the episode when Azula first makes her appearance. So he was filming himself watching it, and it was funny because I was sitting just out of frame of the camera. So when Azula gets like taken in on the rickshaw, I was just like, whatever, bitches. Like I just kind of like the camera. You can look that up online. But that was the first time I'd ever seen anything, and I still haven't seen the whole thing where I have the mental breakdown. But I love Dante, and I love. And Tara and I work together all the time, love her. And who else did you ask about? Kevin Conroy. I met Kevin Conroy here for the very first time 4 years ago when I was here. Yeah, so, and I love Mark Hamill. It was funny because Andrea Romano recently retired, and she had a party, and Mark Hamill was there, and my son, I brought my 10-year-old son. And it was so funny because he was talking to Mark Hamill, and then telling him funny stories, and whatever, and then the guy left, and my son goes, is that guy's name Mark? And I go, mm-hmm. And he goes, it's so weird. I just kind of like know his name's Mark. I don't know why. And I was like, I don't know. And I didn't say a word about it. So we went to watch the new Star Wars. We had to go to the premiere thing because of my being Maz. I got a crew screening or whatever. And he was like, oh my God, there's your friend. So funny. And now he's like on billboards all the time. So every time we drive past, my son's like, I can't believe I talked to that guy. I can't believe you know that guy. Anyway, so. And SpongeBob's our really good friend, Tom Kenny, and his wife. His wife plays our mom on The Loud House. Oh yeah, I do The Loud House. Do you guys watch The Loud House? It's really cute. Aww.
I play Lola, and I play Lana.
And I also play Scoots, who I was doing when I talked about Emily Elizabeth riding on a jazzy scooter.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
It's an honor.
I'm always afraid to do these, and I get really like gun shy, and I'm like in my hotel room till the very last minute because I'm terrified. And then I come here, and you guys are so nice, and I feel stupid for being so scared. I was like, then we'll get a coffee, and that'll be 8 more minutes before I'm in front of the people, and then then I'll stand back there for 7 minutes.
Before I ask my question, I just want to say that the last SacAnime you were at with Kevin Conroy was actually my very first SacAnime.
Oh, wow.
And I don't know if you remember me, but one thing that stuck out was you commented on how tall I was.
Well, that's always fun, isn't it? It comes out of my mouth. I know I'm not supposed to be that person. Because I know every tall person's like, wow, really? I'm tall? I've never heard anybody say that before. But it's just, I have like tall Tourette's or something. Like I see it, I'm like, you're tall! You know, it just like comes out. And I don't mean to.
Yeah,
That'd been fun to watch you with Hodor. Christian Nairn, 7'4". That was, that
Oh
dude's
my God,
tall.
okay, that's one show that I actually watch. I hardly watch any shows, but when Game of Thrones came on, I was like, everybody shut up! It's my show! Get in my bed and make my coffee, and I'm like, okay, it's my show, nobody bother me. I would wait till the kids were in bed. I have 3 children, so I'm like, go to sleep, everybody. If somebody cried, I was like, my show is being ruined by you! I'm a really great mom.
But anyway, my question is, because you mentioned Clifford, and that was actually my first, well, now that I know you were Reptar, that was my first introduction, but yeah, I think my second introduction was you voicing Emily, and of course that starred the late great John Ritter as Clifford. I was wondering, did you get to work with him behind the scenes, like in the recording booth, and if so, what was he like?
He was one of the most amazing people. He was just such a good, wonderful, sweet person. He made you feel so important. Like I can't say enough great things about him. It was funny because he loved his wife so much, and he used to say all these nice things about his family and his wife, and he talked about how he proposed to his wife. He was in the pool, and he pretended that he stubbed his toe. He put the ring on his toe, and he was just in the pool with his wife, and he was like, ow, oh no, ow, ow. So I stubbed my toe, and she's like, oh my God, what is it? And he said he like lifted his foot out of the water, and there was a ring on it. I was like, that's such a great way to propose. And it's so funny because I did Gravity Falls after that, and I did like a bunch of incidentals. My thing that I'm most known for, but I played like the cat lady or like the woman vacuuming, like, I'm just vacuuming, and then I played Grunkle Stan. Hey, I'm Grunkle Stan. Remember when he took some sort of potion or whatever, and he had like Grunkle Stan had like a different voice. A black woman that everybody thought I was Cree. They're like, I thought you were Cree, and I was like, I probably should have been Cree because they probably should have hired a black woman to do that. But I was just in the booth, and they were like, great, just do it real quick. So that's how a lot of that happens, and people get really mad at me. They're like, they need to. Anyway, but I just happened to be there, some white girl just hanging around. I'm part Mexican, if that helps at all. So what was I saying? Oh yeah, but the other thing is, so I was in the kitchen doing Gravity Falls, and I started talking to Jason Ritter, his son. And what another amazing, wonderful person. He's just so sweet. He was so down to earth and so sweet that I thought he must be an engineer in another part of the building, like, because there was like it was just sort of like the kitchen where everybody ate, and he was just so sweet and real and nice and didn't have an actor-y vibe at all, but he was really good looking. I was like, that engineer's really good looking and down to earth. And then somebody was like, no, that's Jason Ritter. He's famous. I was like, oh, okay. Well, all I watch is Game of Thrones. Anyway, but yeah. So, yeah, well, I don't remember what your question is. I have ADD really bad.
Just about what it was like working with John Ritter.
Oh, yeah, he's fantastic. And I was so heartbroken when he passed. That was really awful. And I saw his wife at the Coffee Bean and Tea Leaf, and I got to tell her the story about how much he loved her and how he talked about her all the time, and how he told us the story of the proposal, and she seemed touched by that. So, yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, it was hard to replace John Ritter. They had to get Laura Jill Miller to come back and be like a puppy. That's less threatening. And I see your Gravity Falls out.
Hi. And one more thing about John Ritter. It's a weird story, but he was so nice, and I was going on and on how nice he was to other people after work one day. And my friend was like, I know, it's so sad that he's like a wife beater, huh? And I was like, what? And they're like, yeah, he's a domestic abuser. You didn't hear about that? And I was like, oh my God, no. And then every time I saw him, I was like, I would like start to get charmed by him and start laughing and think how great he was. And then I was like, oh my God, but I forgot. He's like a domestic abuser. That's so terrible. Oh my God, you never know because he's so nice. And then I saw my friend and I was like, I just can't believe, John is so nice. I couldn't imagine him being a domestic abuser. And she was like, oh my God, I forgot to tell you, I was just kidding. It was like a month and a half of working with him and me hating him a little bit. Anyway, because I said, why would you say that? She's like, no, it just seems so funny because he's so nice to say that. Like, I just wanted to like just rattle you for a second, and I just forgot to correct it. I was like, I don't know how you could forget to correct something so big. Anyway, that's such a weird story, but I thought I'd share. I never get asked about John Ritter, so hi.
Hi, Greg. I just want to say first that you are the voice of like tons of cartoons I grew up with.
Oh, more than Tara Strong.
Oh. so when I found out that you were Catwoman in the Arkham games, I was really excited because first, I'm not ashamed to say this, that Catwoman's my comic book crush.
Well, you seem like a very, very bad kitty. This kitty has claws.
Do you need to step back?
If you need to go to the bathroom for a minute, we'll just leave here.
Don't shower.
Fine, so I was wondering, how did you get the role as Catwoman for the Arkham games, and what was it like working with legends like Kevin Conroy and Mark Hamill, especially Mark Hamill?
Well, I worked with Mark on, he played my dad on Avatar, and he, I worked with him on a really dumb safety show. I shouldn't say that in case the creators see this, but it was a really dumb safety show called the Rescue Rangers, or was it Rescue Rangers? No, it wasn't Rescue Rangers. It was like Kitty and Puppy, and we were like these safety rangers. Is it Safety Rangers? Anyway, it was so terrible that I can't even remember what the name of it is. But Mark was on it because he was a friend of the guy that created it, who was a sweetheart, Jerry Hauser. Does anyone know Jerry Hauser? Is a great actor, fun actor. Anyway, but I got the call to play Catwoman out of the blue because they had hired an on-camera actress that wasn't cutting the mustard, and I just happened to be in the area, and the director just knew me and knew. She said, I can just bring somebody in here right now that can probably just do this. She does a lot of voices. She can just do this. So I got a call, and they're like, can you go to Warner Brothers? And I was like, yeah. And they're like, it's a secret project. And I was like, okay. And I showed up, and then I was like, oh my God. Yeah, but it hadn't even come out yet. But I remember I just joined Twitter, and it started trending the day that it came out, and I'm like, it's trending. That's a big thing. I'm learning Twitter, and trending is good. Anyway. Yeah. And it's so weird to like see yourself on a billboard, like now when they like Injustice and all that came out, I was like, it's so weird. I'm driving in my little car, nobody knows who I am, and I look up and I'm like on a billboard. And it's weird. And I'm not Mark Hamill. So, yeah.
Oh, and I also got one small question for you.
Yeah.
Heads or tails, kitty cat?
Well, just don't tie me up to that chair with that awful collar anymore. I guess tails. You might get some.
Thank you.
I have to say, so many things I've gotten is because I was just around. Like I was in another booth and somebody was screwing up and they were like, who's in the building? And if I'm working on another cartoon, they'll just say, great, can you come over here and replace this person really quick because we don't have time to like call agents and try to hold auditions and schedule people. We know you can do it, just come in here. That happened with that Studio Ghibli movie when Marnie was there. Did anybody see that? Anyway, I got a really huge part in that. I played it. You got to see it. It's really good. But like there was all these celebrities, John C. Reilly and Kathy Bates, and like all these Gina Davis and all these really famous people. Kiernan Shipka, and then I was just in the area, and the girl they had cast as the mom or the aunt wasn't doing a great job, and they just asked me if I could come do it real quick, and I was like, I saw the animation because we had a dub to it, and I was like, oh my God, is this oh my God, is this what I think it is? And they're like, yeah. And I was like, I've always wanted to be in one of these movies. And then they got to do Only Yesterday, which was another one that came out recently. I dubbed that one. So that's
Hi.
Hi, buds.
So how do you like about working on one of those Tom and Jerry movies?
The Tom and Jerry movies?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You also did a voice of Dorothy Gale.
Who is it?
Dorothy Gale. In
Oh, Dorothy Gale. Yes, Dorothy Gale. Yes, I grew up my whole life doing Dorothy Gale.
So,
I've been doing that voice since I could talk.
do you ever heard of the classic Tom and Jerry before?
That get mad about it?
There's a Hanna-Barbera's Tom and Jerry, Jane Dice Tom and Jerry, even Chuck Jones Tom and Jerry in the
I love
Sip
Chuck
Tower.
Jones, Tom and Jerry. Those are my favorites.
Yeah, it was in the Sip Tower 12.
Oh, yeah. Well, I do the Tom and Jerry show. I played, what's her name? The mom. the feet. I play the feet.
Mandy Two Shoes.
I don't know, exactly. The feet. I do that on the new Tom and Jerry show. And then I got to play Dorothy because I've been doing that impression forever.
Do you ever heard of the Tom and Jerry show from 1975?
I don't remember so much because I was only a couple years old at the time.
Well, Tom and Jerry, the comedy show. It was released in the 80s.
I don't think, I watched Scooby Doo when I was little, which was like one of the only cartoons I watched, which was funny, but I played Daphne now.
How about Tom and Jerry Kids?
Tom and Jerry what?
Kids.
That was kind of.
I didn't really watch Tom and Jerry, even though I'm in the Tom and Jerry movie and I do on the new Tom and Jerry show, but I didn't. And they just wanted me to do my regular voice. I didn't have to match anything.
Tom and Jerry, the movie, from 1992.
I didn't see that either. None of the Tom and Jerry's. We can cut it short by saying none of the Tom and Jerry's I've seen. I'm sorry.
In the late 1990s, MGM kicked out Tom and Jerry and the rest of the cartoon had directed by Tex Avery because it was after into Warner Brothers.
Well, I named my son after Tex Avery, so I should know that. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, thank you so much. I got a little bit of an education.
Hello, Gray.
Hello.
Great
Is
to
it
see you
Troy?
again.
Hi, Troy. How you doing? Troy and I are friends on Twitter, so I see him every day. And we love your sunset pictures. Everybody loves your sunset pictures. Those are awesome.
Thank you. So, my question is, if I could remember what to say, during your time off from voice acting, are you thinking of making a new music album that you use your voices, including my best favorite, Sam Manson?
Well, I should do more of that, shouldn't I, Troy? I've been going ghost in the music industry lately, not doing enough music. Well, I've been doing my YouTube videos and people have been really liking those songs, going, how can I download these? I want to play them off of YouTube. And I was like, well, that would have been a good idea. I should have recorded those in a higher caliber so that I could put out a record. So maybe I'll do like a nice record of just covers of all the YouTube videos I've done, maybe. I don't know. I haven't written any new songs. It's weird, like after I had kids, my brain was just sort of like, I got into creating people instead of creating music. And I feel like my creativity in that department because I used to just write songs in the middle of the night. It was so weird. I would just be like, I hope I write songs, and then I would like wake up and record them on my phone. I would call myself and leave myself a message. And it was before iPhones when you could do a voice memo, so I would just call myself and leave myself these weird messages. But yeah, I would write songs, like complete songs in the middle of the night. I'd just write them down, and then in the morning I'd be like, is that still a good song? Is that a song that's already out there? And I'd have to like look it up. But I hopefully that muse comes back and I can do some more original music. My husband that I'm divorcing is a music producer, and so I have a studio at my house, but I could use it. I should get some use out of it.
Go for it, Gray. Thank you.
Thank you, Troy. Hope I can give you a hug down there. Okay, bye.
Miss Gray, what was your favorite part about playing Azula from Avatar?
You look adorable, by the way, first of all. Gosh, well, I love it. Mentally unstable people are really fun to play. I should know. I do it every day. No, just buying coffee. Yeah, no, it's just fun to play somebody who's off. I loved the beach episode. That was my very favorite episode. I just loved seeing, that was the very first time that I was like, I love this job. I was meant to do this. Like, I just can't wait to get into the booth and just do this. I can't wait to portray this nut trying to like flirt with somebody. That's gonna be hilarious. And it ended up just translating. So I just loved it. It was great. So yeah, I loved being a mentally unstable flirt.
When I was a bit younger, that's what got me through the Sonoma County fires.
Oh, thank you. That means so much. It's weird that the fire, you be in a fire and then you get through it by Azula setting stuff on fire. Blue flames, though.
Hey, Griffin. Yeah. Here's I think it's difficult. Like, which was your difficult acting voice like of the every girl see like childhood, a teenager, adult, or an older person?
I have to say, I mean, I don't have trouble with any of those voices normally, but when I have to audition for a boy, like a little boy voice, sometimes I just put that in the trash because I'm like, I don't want to do a boy forever because it's like usually like kind of like harder on your voice and stuff. And like even Lana on Loud House, it's like, you know, I mean, I did that all day yesterday and I was like, I'm tired. Lana really makes, it's hard doing that scratchiness. Some people just have it normally, but I kind of have to put it on. So I usually go, let Jessica DeChico do that. She's got a natural rasp. But yeah, so I guess boy characters, I can play kind of like teenager kind of boys, and they're not like as hard because they're kind of like, they kind of sound like Sam Manson. She's super butch. But yeah, I like to play old ladies and witches, and it's fun. I feel like it helps my voice to do. It's like it's almost like a singing exercise to go that high. But yeah, no, I don't have too much problems. I guess just boy voices are hardest.
That's guess what? You're about the same age as Tara Strong, is that right?
I'm pardon?
Is that you're same age as Tara Strong?
Am I the same age as Tara Strong?
Yeah.
I think she's a year older than me, but who's counting? Me.
Yeah, I just saw on Wikipedia, that's why.
And you what?
I just saw on Wikipedia that yours
Oh,
and
is it?
Tara.
I think she is a year older than me.
They're about, it's the same, but guess what? Tara Strong's birthday is next month.
Oh, so maybe she's a year older than me next month. I don't know. Or like 6 years, like maybe 6 months old. I don't know. It doesn't matter. We both look amazing.
Thanks, that's
Thank
quite
you.
a rare age. I've never seen it.
Thank you.
Hello. Hi. Speaking of characters that are off the rocker, what were your favorite moments as either Vicky or Mandy?
Vicky's more fun to play because I love to do that crazy laugh. Oh my God, Pennywise is at the end of the line and it freaked me out for a second. It's like, does everyone see that? Everyone sees that, right? Okay. But Mandy was really hard actually because I'm such an animated person and I'm like kind of bubbly and blah, blah, and
you have to kind of like do nothing when you play Mandy. Everything has to be like really, really low energy.
And it was just hard. I kept being a little bit too bubbly, and they're like, no, that sounds like Yumi. Because at the time I was playing Yumi from Puppy Yummy Yumi, and she sounds a lot like Mandy.
But she's like, oh, rock on, guys. And she's a little bit more animated.
And so it's hard. They would go do less gray, and I was like, talk like this. And they're like, no, less. And I'm like, talk like this. And they're like, less. And I'm like, okay, I'm just barely pushing. So you're just barely pushing air out of your voice like this. And then people are like, Tara Strong does a great job playing Mandy. They do that. People say that all the time. You don't want to be petty, but you want to go, it's me! It's me! And then when they say Raven, you do a great job at Raven, Gray. I'm like, thank you. No. Did you see there's a meme with Raven and Mandy on the subway? Has anybody seen that? It's kind of funny.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Hi.
Hi.
Say, like, you're my all-time favorite voice actor. My all-time favorite show you from is Danny Phantom. I love that show in high school. And my new favorite work from you is Bayonetta and the next Green Lantern anime series. I really love that.
I just ordered Bayonetta pictures because people always ask about Bayonetta. Somebody was like, I feel bad because somebody brought a Bayonetta box to me like a few years ago and I didn't remember doing it. So I was like, oh, I'm not in this. And they're like, you aren't? And I was like, no. And they kind of like wandered away like, that's right. I just looked up Tara's Wikipedia. But, I don't know.
That's what I'm here for.
Who knows? Who cares? I have People magazine, after women's names, they always say the age, and after men's names, they don't say the age. It's not fair. My Wikipedia used to be way ahead of what I was. It was like 4 years off, and I was like really upset about it. My friend's was like 4 years under what she was, which is like, I'm not gonna correct it. I just want it to be what it actually is. I don't want to lie about my age, I just want to be, but I just want to be, I don't want it to be older than I am. Okay, back to Bayonetta. And so then they wandered away, like kind of bewildered. And they were like, oh, no, you are. I just Googled it and you are in this movie. I was like, oh, okay. I just didn't want to ruin their box. But then I got to do the sequel movie to it. And then I was like, okay, I really am this character. So I'm getting picture stuff, but they're not here this time. So what was I saying? I don't remember.
No, my all-time favorite work with you is from Danny Phantom.
Oh, yeah,
I love that show in high school. And I'm asking a quick question. Like, you do a lot of accents, like with Star and Bayonetta, and like, is it difficult to do like different accents in one, like with Wonder Woman and the Superhero Girls? Like, is it really difficult, or just kind of?
I don't know. I might just listen to something for a while. I don't know. My daughter's only one, and if somebody has like, we were on a trip to Hawaii, and there was a lot of roosters there, and the roosters were going off, and she's like 1 year old, and she was on the train going, like amazing. Like, and if somebody has a weird laugh, she'll like do the laugh, and I was like, oh my god, I used to do that when I was little. I would hear a laugh or do something, and I would do it after, and it seemed rude because my parents were like, don't do that to the people. And it's not nice to do that laugh. There was a lady who was like, I was like, yeah, and people were like, it's good that you can do her voice amazingly, but that's really rude because now it makes her really self-conscious. But yeah, so if I hear something, it's pretty easy for me to mimic it, but some I have to work on a little harder. But I'm doing a German accent in the thing that I can't talk about, and I really had to work on that. It kept going French, and it would go like Spanish, and it was hard to keep on the German. So yeah, thank you. I wish they would bring Danny Phantom back. They were talking about doing an on-camera one. I'm like, no, people wanted the cartoon, not the on-camera.
Thank you. It's such an honor.
Thank you. Nice to meet you.
Hi.
Hi.
It's an honor to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
When I was younger, I used to watch, like, when you...
Sorry,
it's okay.
I just, like, watch Scooby Doo all the time.
Well, jeepers, thank you so much for coming. I really appreciate it. We get in these creepy mansions sometimes, and I just don't know. It's just weird.
I just have a question.
Okay.
What got you into playing, like, Scooby Doo and the Grim Adventures of Mandy and Billy?
Well, The Grim Adventures was a weird story because the guy that created the show had cast his wife as Mandy, and she wasn't an actress, and she wasn't a very good actor. And if she's watching this, I'm sorry, you were not good. And so they called me, it was the same director who cast me as Catwoman, Colette Sunderman. She called me and said, like, can you come do this character? This guy cast his wife, and I told him either you can have like something to show your grandkids, or you can have a hit television show. What do you want? And it's funny because they got divorced like right after that, so it's good that he chose me. He would have had a cool thing to show his grandkids that had somebody he hated starring in it. And then for Daphne, it was kind of a sad story because my friend passed away. My friend who done the voice originally, or not originally, she wasn't the original Daphne, but she had been doing it for, I don't think, 5 or 6 years, and she was kind of my mentor. And her husband was actually staying with me because it was a real tragedy when she died. And the auditions came around for it, and I remember thinking, like, you know what? I'm gonna have children. I'm gonna spend time with my family, and I'm going to have a life outside of voiceover because I can't believe she hasn't been dead 2 or 3 days, and they're already sending out auditions for her part. And I just thought, like, you know, this is a good advice for any career. Don't make your career your whole life, because when you pass away, like, they'll replace you with someone, and you have a life, you know. So that was like a big lesson to me. I thought, because it just seemed unreal that they were already trying to find somebody. I was like, can we just mourn for like a week before you go holding auditions? And they were sending around tapes with her voice on it, and I was like, I can't listen to that. I can't listen to that. It's too weird. She's my friend. And, but her husband was like, great. You were her student. She loved you. You know, if anybody was to get the part, she would want you to have it. And I said, well, but I can't listen to her voice on the tape. It just seems so dirty and awful. I'm just going to go in and do my best job that I can. And so I went in and didn't study for it at all. And the director and the engineer were like, oh my God, it was like she was in the booth. It sounded just like her. So I was like, wow, okay, I didn't know. You know when you're friends with somebody and you sort of like take on some of their, like you start to sound alike? I think that's what it was. But anyway, I love her, and she's still kind of my little red-haired guardian angel, so.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello.
Hello. You were in the front. I was like, you're not there anymore. Now you're there.
So I've been a fan of yours ever since you did Vicania de Ver. Do you remember that?
The what?
Vicania de Ver in Baldur's Gate, like the old.
Viconia, yeah.
Yeah, Viconia. Sorry.
Yes. When you read it, I'm sure it can be anything you want.
Yeah. So I played that game like so many times, and it was great because your character was evil. So if I had her always in my party, you actually like ticked everybody else off, and they would leave you.
Oh, that's so funny. I wish I could get a picture of her. People ask about her a lot too.
I have one. I'm not happy to sign it.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. I've never signed one. You'd be the only person who's ever had a picture signed.
Gosh. Okay, then we'll take a picture.
Okay. That was it was like one of my very first video games
I thought so, because I remember seeing your name, and we won't talk about how old I was then and how long ago that was.
Yeah, I think I was like 20 when I did that part.
Yeah, I was probably, I think 10 when I first played that game for the first time, and then I would see your name popping up in all these cartoon credits after that. I'm like, wow, the same person. Yeah, it
I was the age of Tara Strong when I played that character, 20. Anyway.
But I was gonna ask a favor, and someone else had talked about the Zula, or you said the beach episode. So I got in line to just ask you if you could recite the volleyball line. Do you know that by heart? Because everybody loves that. I'm sure that's like her best scene ever. It's, yes, we have defeated you for all time. You will never rise from the ashes of your shame and humiliation. And she like laughs.
Oh, okay, let me try. Okay.
Wait, okay.
Yes, we have defeated you for all time. May you never rise from the ashes of your shame and humiliation.
Awesome, thank you so much. My voice is still a little scratchy. I had a cold a week ago, so thank you. Oh, Adventure Time. Oh, it's Star. I'm on Star in the versus of Evil too, and oh my God, it's getting so good. I can't even tell you what's going on right now, but it's really good. And I was the Ice Queen on Adventure Time.
So we wanted to ask, what's your favorite part that you've ever done?
That I never got?
That you've ever done?
That you've ever done? I have to say, you know what? Totally honestly, Queen Moon. Queen Moon on Star versus the Forces of Evil. It's like such a well-written show. It's funny. It's like, I love her relationship with her daughter. It's like so layered, and her relationship with her husband, and just, it's a really, really great part, and I'm so grateful. After Azula, I'd have to say Queen Moon. It's like, and I played Jackie on that show too. Hey, what's up, Jackie? Just like skating around.
Hello.
Hello.
I want to say hello.
Oh my goodness, you're scary. My sister hates clowns. She's got that clown phobia. We were at a swap meet once when she was a little girl, and she was like fussing, and the lady was selling these cheap toys, and one of them was a clown, and she was like, "Oh, don't cry! Look, there's this." And my sister was like, "Ah!" I mean, it made it way worse. And it was just a good memory from childhood.
What was your favorite memory or moment of delayed Mary Kay Bergman?
Oh my goodness. She was my teacher. She taught me like how to do voice matching and all kinds of things. And it was funny because she was like such a nice person and so sweet and patient with everybody that I did this character. I like to draw too, so I did a drawing of Snow White, and then I did all the little animals around her because she played the voice of Snow White. And every character was asking me these questions about their career because I was in that class with her. People would always ask her like, should I still stay in this business? Like, what do you think about this? And can you come see my one-woman show? And she would just answer every question, and she was so sweet about it. Like, she was just endlessly patient. And so I did a character with all the like the bunny asking like, should I stay in voiceover? And like the deer being like, can you come to my one-woman show? You know, and all these things. And she thought that I was really asking those things, so she sat me down. She's like, Gray, of course you should stay in voiceover. I believe in you so much. And where's your one-woman show? I'll come to it. I want to, you know. And I was like, no, I was making fun of like how nice you are and always answering. Never mind. And I was like, this just goes to show how nice you are. So yeah, it's kind of funny.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, Gray.
Hi.
I just want to say that I love you.
Thank you.
Every character that you've played in the many cartoons that you've done just has been my favorite. With the Zula just kind of coming in a close second because I love Dante.
You love what?
I love Dante.
Oh, you love Dante.
Yeah.
I thought you were gonna say Tara. I was like, oh God, no.
No. I mean, like it's Zuko and then it's you, but like so close.
Yes.
And so my question for you is, when you were doing stand-up and impressions, I just want to go down memory lane a bit.
Yeah.
Who was your favorite impression?
The Wizard of Oz. You're like, I want to go home. I want to go home. Annie, I'm Uncle Henry. I'm frightened. Are you a good witch or a bad witch? I'm not a witch at all. I'm just a little girl. It's all right. It's all right. You may all come out and thank her.
As mayor of Munchkin City, in the county of the land of Oz, I welcome you most legally, but we gotta verify it legally to see if she is morally, ethically, physically, spiritually, positively, absolutely, undeniably, unreliably dead. Who killed my sister? Was it you? I didn't mean to kill her. I didn't mean to kill anybody. I'll get you my pretty little dog, too. Put him up, put him up, put him up. I didn't mean to hurt her. I didn't mean to do anything.
Anyway. Show on Warner Brothers. There's a new show called Dorothy and Oz, or I can't remember the name of it, but anyway, I think it's Dorothy and the Wizard of Oz or something. But I play the Good Witch. Yeah.
You've just made my day. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Howdy.
Hello.
You having such a diverse background in this industry, being that, I feel as though people see you as such a genuine soul, so you're able to go through all these studios and have such everyone's able to have such a pleasurable time being able to work with you.
Aww.
So has there ever been a series that you wished would have continued on?
We had so much fun doing The Weekenders. Does anybody remember The Weekenders? Yeah. It was me, Phil Lamar, Kath Soucy, and Jason Marsden, and we had a ball. I mean, it was just the best little group. I have to say, what comes close to that now is the current cast of Scooby Doo, because I just fell in love with Velma, the girl who plays Velma, and Kate McCucci. Like, we text each other all the time, and we just love each other. The other day, we were both getting our roots done, and I was like, oh, I'm getting my hair done. She's like, so am I. And we sent some pictures of ourselves with our hair, like, all and our capes on. And it's funny, I just love her so much. But yeah, I think if The Weekenders could have gone on longer, I would have loved that. It was really fun. Laura McQuarrie, she kind of was like a younger version of, she was kind of like a younger, dumber version of Sam Benson. All of my characters are intertwined. Some just have lisps and accents.
I have one little tiny question.
Yeah.
What was the most ideal cast that you worked with when networking through Cartoon Network?
That never what?
When networking through Cartoon Network. What was the, what series did you find most ideal, like overall?
At Cartoon Network, I think Foster's, because it was like Tom Kenny, Phil Lamar, me, Tara, Candy Milo, who's phenomenally talented. She played Cheese. And Keith Ferguson. Keith Ferguson is really, really talented. Yeah. He's not as well known as he should be, I don't think. Maybe he is, I don't know. But it doesn't seem like he gets enough credit. I'm always touting him. He's so good. Yeah.
Well,
thank you. It's funny because the kid who played Mac on that show, his older brother played, oh wait, maybe I think I have that wrong. Oh, his older brother played my son on The Mummy. It was funny. I was like, I've been mom to both of these boys.
Hey Griffin, how are you doing?
Hi, I love
First of all, I just want to thank you for coming out to Sacramento this season.
Oh, I'm glad to be here.
It's my main question was, how was your experience voicing Assaj Ventress in the Clone Wars?
Oh, I love that. Was such a great version of Star Wars. I thought that Gendy, I mean, he's so great, just visually beautiful, and I think I was the only woman in that cast. I think I played like I played Shakti, I played Amidala, and I played Asajj.
So a Jedi, a Senator, and a Sith, or one of these.
Yes.
That's impressive.
I'm a Mandalorian too because I play the bounty hunter on all the Star Wars games. I'm the female bounty hunter. She kind of talks a little bit like that.
So, I ready to admit I didn't catch all the episodes of Clone Wars. I know Ventress had at least one major duel with Anakin. It was, which didn't go too
I think
well
I only
for
had
her.
one line where it was like, "I am Sith." Like pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, I admit I kind of feel sorry for Assaj Ventress. She didn't really succeed too well either against Anakin or with becoming Dooku's apprentice, which I believe is what she ultimately wanted, right?
Yeah. I don't even know if Asajj is a man or a woman. I kept asking Gendy, and he was like, "I don't really want to say." And I was like, "Okay, so I shouldn't do like a man voice?" And he was like, "No, just tell me what you got." And I did it, and he was like, "Yeah, let's just not say it. It's just indeterminate." And I was like, "Oh wow, first trans character on Cartoon Network."
Wow. And now that you mention it, their voice doesn't give too much away.
And he said I want it really androgynous. So.
Well, great job.
Thank you. Thank you. Hi.
All right, I'm very curious. You have had such a wide, diverse, amazing body of work.
I thought you were saying amazing body. I was like, thank you. Oh my god. But then she was like, it was wide, so I was like, oh, that's not very nice.
What would be the upside of doing on-screen work?
There is none. I did when I first moved to LA. I had just graduated from theater school, and I played like old ladies and trees and little kids, and in theater you can do everything, and I loved that. And then I came and I started auditioning for every like 20-year-old girl part, and it was so boring. I was like, ugh, I wasn't even like quirky enough looking to be the fun friend. I wanted to play the fun friend parts. I wasn't pretty enough to be the ingenue, and I wasn't weird enough looking to be their quirky friend. And so I was like, it's just boring. It was awful, and I couldn't wait. And when I started doing voiceovers, I was like, this is what theater training got me ready for, being like all these weird characters. But I recently, I feel bad for my friends who can't go to Disneyland. I love Disneyland. I go all the time, like 3 times a month. And I love it, it's so good. But like friends who can't go to Disneyland or do anything with their kids because people are stopping them, and people are always like, I hate to bother you, and I always think to myself, no you don't, or you wouldn't do it, but you're bothering the person. Anyway, but if it's a setting like this where people are like, here to meet people, I get it, but when you're there with their kids, it's so sad. They're getting bothered. I'm glad I don't have to ever deal with that. But I did just do this pilot for a really cool show. It's called The Musicianer, and it's about this time-traveling musician, and I play this kind of a musicologist who's helping him figure out whether he's like delusional or if he really has time travel. And it's really cool. And I had a ball doing it. I like doing on-camera acting, but I was like, ugh, but if it comes out, people are gonna, I won't have that anonymity anymore. And they're really, cartoons are like the best job in the world. You don't ever have to worry about all that stuff. And the long hours, oh my God, like, I work from 9 to 6 p.m. I'm able to have dinner with my kids every night. I'm able to have my weekends off. I'm able to call my agent and say, I can't work, this day because my son's having a performance, or my son is actually acting too. He got a part on the Loud House, and he's in a big video game that I can't talk about, but he was freaked out because he loves this video game and he was very excited about it. And he's on a Disney show called Vampirina. He does a little character named Fangbert. So he can be the one that is that gets recognized. I don't want to. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, last question.
So I was just out of curiosity. Have you seen any of the DC movies recently? The Zack Snyder movies?
I've only seen Wonder Woman, and I didn't mean like DC movies, but I like superhero movies. I've only seen Wonder Woman.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So no, I haven't. They all seem to run together for me. I can't keep track of what's what. Sorry.
Yeah, I got the Batman utility belt from the Zack Snyder.
Oh, Yeah. Is it, you mean animated ones or the ones in the theaters, like the
one in the
live
theaters.
action? Yeah, the live action ones I haven't. Animated ones I have.
But do you enjoy the Wonder Woman, right? You
I
enjoyed
did see Wonder Woman. I loved it.
Oh,
yeah.
good. Okay.
Yeah, I loved it, and it's just very, very empowering. I wanted to go kick some ass when I left. There's a new animated movie. There's two new animated movies I want to talk about. One is called Gotham by Gaslight. It just came out, and it's so good.
Based off of Brian Augustine and Mike Mignola's book.
So good. And I play the old nun, the Irish nun who's running the convent there. That's what I play, and I get real tough with the cops. And I also play one prostitute that gets murdered. But, and also there's a movie called like a Batman Samurai, and it is
the anime coming out.
Gorgeous. The most beautiful movie I've ever seen animated. It was stunning.
Yeah.
I might or may not be playing something in that.
Well, I think with that, we are actually at the end of our time with Gray for today. So give Gray a big round of applause. Thank you so much for being here. It's been a pleasure.
So I'm gonna go down and sign now. I won't be on the schedule yet, but if you if you wanted to do something else when I'm signing later, you can come now or whatever. I just figured I might as well be fresh off of my panel.
So you're heading right over to your signing table? All right, there you go. So if you want to get a signature from Gray or say hi, she'll be over there shortly. So thank you much, everybody. Hope you're enjoying the show.